Well, greetings everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Inworld Review. In fact, it's the second edition of the revamped Inworld Review. This is a program where we gossip and, as Lyndon now will say, gab about virtual worlds and immersive spaces.
That name's taken, I think.
Yeah, they've taken the gabbing, but who
Yep.
cares? Oh, I like it. Maybe the God Emperor Zuckerberg can have a
Yeah.
gab. Yeah, he could steal gab, couldn't he?
Yep.
He steals everything else, so why not steal the gab? The lab gab. Or the gab lab. Never mind. I'm prone to distraction, folks. So ignore me, if you will. Anyway, welcome to the second of our new revamped edition, where our main focus to be tie in with the Hypergrid Safaris and also look at stuff happening here on OpenSim, although there are other places too. OpenSim, for those of you who don't know, is a sort of, I call it a cousin to Second Life, which many of you will know. It uses the same viewer. There are different things, OpenSim has other things that Second Life, for their own reasons, don't have, and vice versa. But it is a sort of familiar world. The thing about OpenSim is that there are actually hundreds, in fact, probably thousands of different simulators, like Second Life, all built on the OpenSim platform. And they're all interconnected by something called the hypergrid, which means whereas in something like Second Life, you can travel to the end of the Second Life planet by teleporting to a location. But in OpenSim, you can actually teleport not to a location on just a location on the same grid. You can actually jump right over to myriad other grids and other locations in those grids. So it's a much more, in Second Life, you go on a world tour. In OpenSim, you go on the universe tour, basically. It's just the possibilities for instantaneous transport, Avatar style, of course, are immeasurable. And there are, of course, various other worlds out there, which I'll come to in a brief sec. As part of this, the new revamped show here, we're trying to tie it in a little bit with the weekly Hypergrid Safari. Safari is... it has a clubhouse and it meets on OS Grid every Wednesday for a couple of hours to go to about 2 different locations that have been chosen. It might be arts, it might be music, it might be landscape, it might be roleplay, it could be all sorts of actual things. And it is great fun. Last week on the first show, we had a resume of some of we talked over some video of the Safari the week before. I'm going to show you a little bit this week too, but since I'm the only person that was at it, there's a limit to how much discussion we can get out of it. But what I have are 2 guests on the show today. They're actually from the Wildwood Bayou. I've got that right, haven't I, guys?
Yes, you do indeed.
the Wildwood Bayou grid. And it's basically part of it's one half of it is sort of role play stuff, and the other half is based on music stuff. So those are their 2 sort of angles to promoting the grid, so to speak. And joining me from that grid, we've got Harmony and Contessa in the audience, by the way, as well as Thursday. But on stage here, as it were, I've got Kith Whitehawk. So welcome, Kith.
Thank you, Mal.
And whoa, background rattle there. Right, and Fit Ewan. I'm told I can call you Fit, so welcome, Fit.
Thanks, Mel. Yes, Fit is fine.
Yeah, it better be. I can't pronounce that thing.
No one can.
I might get used to it just as the show's ending, kind of thing. One of those things. Anyway, it's nice to have a nickname, isn't it? Okay, so Kith and Fit will be talking to me later in a bit more detail about their grid. Both of you guys, were either of you perchance on the Hypergrid Safari this week?
I was.
You were? Right, so you saw Cherry's okay, well that's great, because before I come to your grid, I might just show some videos of they're just short clips I took while we're there. Far more clips than I've got time to show, but we can have a look at them and talk over them, as it were, just showing listeners, viewers at home, what they missed. And the final tie-in before I forget is that Wildwood Bayou is actually a destination for this coming Wednesday safari. So if you like what you see today, we have some pictures to show you later. Turn up to safari on Wednesday and come and join us as we actually go to the real virtual, if you see what I mean. the real, this is getting confusing, isn't it? The real venue, the real Wildwood. Right, okay. I'm just going to get this started for 1 minute, first of all. It always seems longer, but it's only 1 minute clip I got here. You may know that our news show, which we film around the corner here, actually, until recently we were using our studio over in Sansar. There's a lot of talk about Sansar game places. I don't think it actually is, but we used to show videos of nice destinations over there from time to time. And I got one here that came through this week, which I put in the Metaworld news feed, which is of the Autumn Cafe and the virtual coffee shop. If you want to, well, I'll come to it in a minute, but Metaworld News has a feed of Twitter. It's twitter.com/MetaWorldNews. And there's one for me, Mal Burns, as well. And some of the links we refer to on the web are actually available there too. Well, that's the obvious place to get them, as it were, where we store them all. Right. So first of all, just for a minute or so, we'll just have a quick look at this virtual coffee shop in Sansar. Now, don't you just want to jump in there and sit down and have a drink of virtual coffee? It's lovely. Well, one of the things that always somebody's going
royalty-free
away. No. Sorry, folks. Right, that's YouTube for you. And one of the wonderful things about Sansar, you can't really criticise it. It always looks gorgeous. It's probably after a new wave of sort of virtual worlds. It looks spectacular. It's one of the few that isn't actually authored in Unity or the Unreal Engine, both of which are pretty spectacular anyway. It actually had its own engine built for it back when it was started and owned by Linden Lab. Its future, as the song goes, is uncertain. But while it's there, it's still a wonderful place to sort of visit, although it's not in the interoperability circuit of OpenSim and such like. Right, okay. Now, I have another. This is actually just a website I'm switching to. Oh, yes, yeah. This is from AI Austin, who is frequently on the Hypergo Safaris with us. He's actually started I guess it's an Open Simulator group. So if you're on Twitter, you can actually sign up for this group. Now, what I found is when I went to join, it said the moderator has to approve you. And in fact, there was nobody in it. But since then, it's got 28 members. And what happens is AI Austin obviously has a way of knowing that I requested to join and actually IM me back with an invitation. So joining up seems to be fairly easy. I'm not quite sure how it's working. I think it sort of works a bit like a thread in Discord. In other words, it's not for your personal posts and whatever like you use your own account for. It's like it's just a group for Open Simulator basically. And as you can see, Nora Malone signed up there. Ramesh, who we know from conference time, is there. Austin Tate, is there. AI Austin himself, of course, with a bit of a plug for Open Simulator there, but look a bit. And yeah, well, that's them so far. But the 28 members is showing quite a few people we probably know. Beck, Ramesh. As you can see, as I'm doing this, I'm actually clicking follow because this seems to be a somewhat different method of following. Yeah, basically it shows you the members, and if it says following, that means you're already following them on Twitter. The other members are people that you're being offered to join up with, hold hands with, whatever. Anyway, this such is quite interesting. So on the twitter.com/Metaworld newsfeed, you will find a link to this. It just takes you to this standard sort of Twitter page, and when you get there, you click the join button and you wait to hear back and find that you've been joined into it. Then you can take part in the discussions there, I guess. Yeah, another nice, useful new thing for OpenSim. And finally, on the web pages, we've got this week's report from Thursday at the Hypergrid Safari site. The Safari jukes it out. Bit of a more orthodox. I forget what it was. Last week's blog headline was wonderful. I forget what it is already. But anyway, this was called the jukebox. Now I've got a you were on this, weren't you, Fit?
Yes, I was.
You saw the jukebox, and which is okay. Yeah, the jukebox is Cherry Mango's one, isn't it? As opposed to Coopersville, which is the other one we went to. Okay. Okay, jukebox invented by Louis Glass. First commercial use of this iconic music maker was in 1889, city of San Francisco. It brought together technology and art in one magical box, very much like the two bills we visited this week. I guess that's Thursday talking there. Oh yes, Alpha Hendricks. Yes, there she is at jukebox. I'm not. Yeah, jukebox. Okay, so that was during the first hour. We went to jukebox. Let me bring forward. Here we are. Got a bit of everything here. Okay, you can hear a bit of music in the background. It's very low. This is just some footage of all of us there. There's Thursday doing a meditation thing. Gosh golly, I think everybody had to go at that. It was part of the program sequence, if I believe, if you remember right, Fit. This is basically a load of us hanging around, so it's not particularly interesting in itself. Beep beep. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm going to move on to this. It's about a minute of this one. This was an actual one of. You can always tell, at least I think you can always tell Cherry's builds. They vary wildly, but there's something very Cherry about them all, isn't there, Fit? Oh, well, I think you agree with me. Never not gone quiet. So there I am looking at various stuff. The camera is going crazy because it's very hard to find places to actually anchor the camera in here. What actually happened was at the beginning and end of these clips I put up here, you keep seeing the jukebox, and what happened is if you would press like to play a track on the jukebox, that would actually teleport you to a build on what I suppose you could call a natural theme. Some people like me could not resist camming out and finding themselves in the middle of nowhere. I'm definitely sure I was not meant to be wherever I am there. Let me move to the next sequence. Is that? No, it's not the next sequence. There we are. Here we are. Yeah, there's some very I don't know whether to call them statues or sculptures. I think in Cherry's case, it's probably Cherry Mango's work is probably more definable as sculptures. You know, she has the builds, and she includes very sculpted sort of forms within them. I think it's a question of me getting stuck in Wilden. let me move on. I've got masses of stuff from this week, in fact, but no real time to show it all. Yeah, that I believe is a sculpted statue of a giant person meditating. And if this pans out as I think it does, there you are. You can actually see me on the ground, so you can only just gauge just how big that statue is. You know, I had to sort of pan right out, and then trying to find myself was like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'm one of those little blobs down the bottom there. So this was extraordinarily big, and all these strange, bubbly sort of balloon type structures along the side. Okay, moving on. When I've got somebody who can talk to us about this another week, I may share a bit more. But this is an example of me standing outside a jukebox, and this jukebox was strategically placed all over the place, so to speak. And you'll probably see what happens in a minute if I don't know whether this is one where I've arrived or I'm about to go. But when I click, you know, it's a sort of super sort of particle effect over the avatar, and then it takes you to the next destination. It's actually quite confusing because if you're just sitting there with the camera on, you don't appear to go anywhere. It's not until you actually press the forward button to move your avatar you realise you actually have gone somewhere else. So it's all part of the fun, the unpredictability of it all. And okay, I'll go. This is 90 seconds. I think we filmed this near the end. Back at one of the jukeboxes near the end of the thing. We're underneath one of these huge sculptures, and everybody's dancing away. Synchronized dances, of course. I keep pressing my camera controls here, thinking I can zoom into the video the way I can zoom in World. Oh, it's terrible when you're doing both. As you can see, endeavouring trying to get everybody in there. There's probably a few people missing, but it's nice to actually pan around on these views and get a picture of everybody who's actually at the event, so to speak. Then somebody will tell them they're on film, and that's another view of the show. You see, it's all very devious. Okay. Let's move away from that. I've got one more that I actually loaded at the top here. Unfortunately, it's the only one. This was later on when we moved on to the next venue.
These children would have been working in the factories.
Okay, she's not talking over this Saturday after all. This is Coopersville, and it's based on recreating. I don't think. I could probably kind of scroll at the bottom. Yeah. Sorry.
When Mitchell and Kenyon came to Morecambe, they were actually working in partnership with A.D. Thomas of Thomas Edison Picture Company. And these
her voice cut out, I believe. Okay, this is actually, I've just looked it up here. Kashari Mahana is her name, and she was the creator and hostess at Coopersville here. And she also told everybody to put advanced lighting mod on. It's a community based on the Edwardian era, which is roughly between the year 1900 and 1915. Short era, that. I think the war came, didn't it? The first one, that is. Right. Technically, it's the time after Queen Victoria died until King Edward died, and they're flexible here simply because it's not easy to find Edwardian era things on the hypergrid. So they do using anything from Victoria to the Roaring Twenties. They're not limited to the United Kingdom by any means, she says. The feel of the era was happening all over the Western world. In the United States, often referred to as the Progressive Era because Teddy Roosevelt was president at this time. And a fun fact is that the transatlantic two-way radio call was between Roosevelt and King Edward in 1903. So quite a lot of other information there. Are we? Yeah, we're coming to the end of that clip. I do have other clips of this, but there wasn't room to actually load them all into the viewer for this show, so that's pretty much it for now. Clicking backwards, I'm now back on the HG Safari website page, and what I was telling you just now is actually chronicled by those that there. She always includes extracts of the conversations being had on Safari. So you can find a lot more about that by heading over to HG Safari, that's HGSAFARI.blogspot.com. And no doubt there'll be another one in the same position next week, as it were. Right, so I'm now going to move back to our Inworld stage, as it were, and move to one of the things, at least, that will be part of the Safari this coming Wednesday. For those of you who don't know, you need to use a Firestorm or some viewer that's compatible with OpenSim. Most Second Life viewers work. And you need to get to a grid called OS Grid, OSGRID. And I think if you're typing it in the map, it is simply osgrid.org:80, and then go to the actual venue itself, which I'll come to in a while. Okay, and that is that is noon Pacific time. Meeting at the clubhouse is called HG Space Safari, is the region name on OS Grid, and we meet there, and then there'll be a list of note cards and landmarks and things for you to take that allows you to join the safari and follow us to all the exciting places we will be going to. Right, and one of those places, see, I'm trying to get this in order, one of those wonderful places we're going to be going to is called Wildwood Bayou. And so welcome again to two guys from there. We've got Fit and we've got Kiss. Welcome, Fit. Welcome, Kiss.
Thanks once again.
Right. Okay, I get you talking now. I was trying to get you talking while we were doing the safari clip, but never mind. Now, I'm told that, Keith, you are the one to start off with here in terms of describing, giving an overview of the grid itself. I know you've sort of divided basically into two specialities, which is music and role play. But over and beyond that, I don't really know much so far. So maybe you'd like to take it from there, giving me a bit of description. I'm going to, while you're talking, in fact, I will be clicking on the screen where we have some photographs. They're in a bit of an odd order, I think. So it's going to be called that one. Yeah, the first picture anyway is a nice landscape there. So far away, Kiss.
All right. Well, I'd love to talk about Wildwood Bayou Grid. So the main impetus for creating Wildwood Bayou was for Rockin' the Blues, the club blues club that we've had for years and years. It was started back in Inworlds by Kira Whitehawk, which her name was Kira Wildfire at the time. But yeah, she started that way back when, and then we came when Inworlds went down. Of course, we came to OpenSim, which was fantastic. We really enjoyed that. Learning all about OpenSim, and we've been in other grids, but we thought we wanted to have our own grid, our own ethos, our own way of being, and I found myself surrounded by some really wonderful people and who offered to help. And after much hemming and hawing, saying, "Can we really do this?" We started Wildwood Bayou, and we just had in October of 20. So we've been open now for a little over a year, and it's been really fantastic. We've got Rockin' the Blues. We've got Hot Daddies, which is a sister club, which is DJ's choice. We've got the Bayou Belle, which is Kira's actual first build, which was the actual club before she built Rockin' the Blues. Right. And of course, I wanted something to interact during the day. Instead of, club is at night. So I talked with Miss Fit and Miss Contessa, and we got the role play group. So kind of well-rounded, and we just wanted to make ourselves destination. We don't rent commercially. We're just here for
entertainment purposes.
exactly. We're like your neighbor next door. Come on over and party and have a good time.
Is the music focus? Is a lot of it blues?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, is a lot of it blues? The music focus.
The music focus for Rockin' the Blues is blues indeed. But there's over 45 different genres of blues, so you can get your
I'm a big fan of blues, but that picture I better move the pictures through actually, but that picture I put up, it's got the photo. You think of a swamp or a bayou or something. I love a composer, Tony Joe White, if you know of him.
Yep. Tony Joe White.
It evokes sort of, generally speaking, as much as virtual worlds can. That picture evokes sort of some of his, the things I imagine when I listen to his lyrics.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was it. I was just making the parallel there. Let me move on to another picture. Right now, this is Hot Daddies. This is inside the club. You did send me quite a few pictures that are actually people dancing in the club. So. They look fine, very colourful. Not much you can really say about stills. Right. You don't get the movement, do you? But
right. Well, Hot Daddies is our sister group that that was made for me, because when I first started blues, I was always wanting to play rock. So Kira made Hot Daddies, and it's a DJ's choice venue. So we get a ton of different genres over at Hot Daddies, and Harmony and really gets the place looking more like an event instead of just a set. It's all decorated. People dress up. It's really a lot of fun.
Let's move on to the next picture. I think it's about amazing how long they take to get through, actually, when you've got, I think it's about 36 here. So this, I can't tell. Is that the same cloud? They're just people dancing here. I can see what you mean about dressing up.
Yeah, that's that was our redneck Christmas with DJ Mooney and Sundry, and but yeah, we have a whole bunch of different. We have some incredibly talented DJs and hosts that support the Rockin' the Blues and Hot Daddies, and and they all get to we're there just to have fun, right? That is kind of our entire ethos, is have fun and enjoy and be respectful, and that's really why we're there, and enjoying the music. It's all about building those bridges.
When I was talking to Fit yesterday, I guess it was, I can't remember now, she did say that most of your music venues are like dance-based. I don't mean dance music, but there's the DJs and things like that. You have had live music there too, but the bulk of the music is DJ sets and things on themes, isn't it?
Yes, it is. DJs. We've got Macy Belgar. We've got Rachel Rose. We've got Riker. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. Anabuki. There you go.
I never remember any of the names. So.
Right, but we've got talented folks, and it's engaging. If you don't want to go to some place that's not engaging, then we're probably not for you, because you walk in and you'll get said hello to straight away, and we have a lot of yayers. We just have fun. It's enjoying the music and enjoying company of everybody from around the world is absolutely incredible.
Great. Another costume piece on screen. Oops, sorry, I've got the wrong thing here. There we go. So, oh yes, he looks like he's in there with a vengeance, isn't he?
Do like our neon.
Yes, I say all the. It's hard to tell. Is that all? Is that like particle stuff swirling about him? Or is it just Right.
Those are light. Whatever they're called.
Yeah, I used to have things like in Second Life. You turn up at the event and then you wear this thing, and it keeps emitting. And sometimes it would emit over the whole region, and nobody would know who was emitting. But I was a
Yeah.
big fan of it. You know, it's a bit of a prankster thing, really. But I'd rather emit than dance. You know, well, preferably do both. You know, a bit of
Well,
a
I don't know, Mal. You look pretty darn good. We look pretty darn good dancing. I'm just saying.
yeah.
We can take it on the
Yeah,
road.
there we have another one. All these are just dances at the venue. None of these are you so far, are they, or have they been? I don't know. But yeah, that's this is more Arabian Nights. This lady, isn't it?
That could have been a belly dancing set. That could have been a tribal.
Yeah,
That looks like belly dancing. Yeah.
belly
Some.
dancing in the bayou. I like it.
Well, that was probably at HD Hot Daddies. I mean, that's probably one of the DJ's choice
Yeah.
venues. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got a ring to it, hasn't it? Belly dancing in the bayou.
I like it. Can we make a note of that and use that?
Yeah, moving on before we get through. Oh my God, who are this lot? What is that thing on the right?
It's hard to say. It's tribe. It's hard to say. It's tribe, right? That's what our VIPs are called, or tribe. And this looks like a Voodoo Circle, where we have our Halloween party. Yeah, so everybody dresses.
I got to say one thing. That helmet is even more bulky than the Zuckerberger one, and it's got horns attached. They're a special emitter.
Well, I don't think so. I think that's probably one of the costumes.
I'm joking.
But I don't know. But that does look like either a bat, a pair. Oh, it looks like a ghost there. Maybe it is emitting ghosts.
I'll move on. Oh, this looks a bit more subdued. Somebody fiddling with their nails, basically. Gillian. Gillian? Who knows? Let's move on. Right. Now we're coming to some more landscapey pictures. This is a club, isn't it? From a distance, I can see the dance floor.
Yep, this is the Bayou Bell. This is where I.
It's a boat on the river, is it?
Yep. Boat on the river. Yep.
I can make it out now. When I first saw it, I thought it was like a rectangular patch, but now I see it clearly. It's yeah. Okay, so boogieing down the bayou. Okay,
yeah.
What on earth is the Statue of Liberty doing in bayou territory?
I think that was part of. This is part of part of Harmony's decorations for one of the parties. It looks like it's 4th of July. So
that's 4th of July.
Yeah. So it's virtual.
Exactly. I was going to say, if suddenly the bayou moves to New York Harbor or whatever.
We took a wrong turn, really long.
Yeah. That looks like fun. Here we are. This looks like is this a close up on the same boat?
Yep.
Is it right? Okay, good. So the numbering works for a bit. Right, a line dance there, I take it.
Yeah, we've got dance pads with a HUD, of course. Typically we have a host. The DJ will have a host who selects the dance to go with the music. This is my morning set on Sunday, so it's just me. So, but yeah, so it seems like it's a little bit nicer to have something switches to the dance to relate to the music. So.
I always got a bit silly at first when I saw those, line dance things. I thought that's all very, it's like chorus girl sort of thing. I never thought of it. But over the years, I sort of come to be quite attracted by them. There's something about the synchronization. Also, the fact, of course, you can stand on the line dance and then just walk around doing nothing and look at yourself. Oh, I'm a good. But I can I see these days. So this must apply to real life too. The attraction of that attempting to synchronize together. Which of course in the virtual world it's perfectly synced. So. Good stuff. Although I associate it more with country, I've got to admit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely, more than country. But, people can also, it's a lot easier, I think, than trying to get your AO set and have it res and all that good stuff. But that's just me.
Oh, lordy, what have we here?
It's Claudette.
This is swamp country, isn't it? There goes my leg. Yeah, rather menacing looking thing that. They do tend to eat people, don't they? If you're not careful. Is that a crocodile or an alligator? I'm never quite sure about that.
Would have to be an alligator in the bayou.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, crocodile's the Australian version, I think. Or something. I've never met one, and I'm not anxious to either, for that matter. So, very moody though. Yes, you can certainly imagine it. I don't know what photos we've got coming up, but I look at the top there. The trees or the foliage, I should say, looks very sort of stringy. Like I imagine, I've never been there, but I imagine Louisiana or somewhere would look, um, would look like that. Not trees so much as really just foliage everywhere. Or I might be imagining it, but nice picture there. While we're talking, of course, what have you got in mind for the safari on Wednesday? Don't we've talked it through. It says yes, or you got any plans already?
Well, I believe that we're going to be meeting them in our little replication of New Orleans. And we just
Lovely.
we've got multiple units there that Kira built that are replicas of some of the actual places in New Orleans. So
There's one of it. It's Lady.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this
Yeah.
is Bulldog Street, isn't it? Yes. Now, even I know that.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna meet there and then do a little Mardi Gras and then head on over to the club, I think, for some music. But I think they're gonna get a ton of landmarks so they can go and explore at another time. Do you have anything to add on that?
Well, we left all the Mardi Gras decorations up for the safari, so they'll be able to
Yes,
see what our New Orleans looks like during Mardi Gras.
yeah, you mentioned that because it was only just over a week ago, wasn't it? It's not.
Yes. And the town itself has a number of very accurate historic replicas of buildings that are actually in New Orleans and have a fascinating history, and there's information on them available.
Is this like a specific sort of downtown part of New Orleans? Because obviously the whole city's been rebuilt a lot since Katrina, wasn't it? But a lot of the old town, as I would call it, I presume has survived as was.
I wouldn't say it was tried to replicate the old town, but certainly some of the buildings that feel to Kira, that because she's the one who built it, like the representation of New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got the Absinthe House, which is they had poets and politics and so some really great history there. So basically, just the buildings that are kind of iconic to New Orleans, I would say.
And you told me, well, Fit told me, we were talking the other day, that you've your cruise, so to speak. I mean, it's split all over the place. You said you got some people in Australia, somebody else in Ireland, just over the water from me. Other people in different sides of the states, and somewhere else that was bothered. So you get an impression it's a very international club of people in the grid itself, despite the fact that this New Orleans type thing, the Bayou thing, is almost a speciality. Are the Australians or Irish, are they particularly interested in this kind of build, this kind of society, and that's brought them to it, or are they? Is it like a group of you that just were all ready together and thought, right, we're going to do it this way?
Well, oddly enough, I mean, I can't speak for preferences, but every single person that's on our admin team, walked into that club one night, either when we were on a different grid, and liked the atmosphere, like the ethos, like the way that we were, and stuck around. And that's the group of people that I was telling you that I found myself surrounded by. And that's pretty much Harmony Benningborough, she's been with us since Inworld, and then Durham Redmond and Maggie Redmond, Fitigyun, which was next to us, Amara Olerand, and then Adara Nimoriko. And everybody came into the club just to listen, right? And that's how we met them. Um,
Great.
yep. So that's
No,
the thing about. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say I've changed picture again, and I'm in no doubt that this is the Mardi Gras.
That is the Mardi Gras. You know,
Very, very colourful. Took me by surprise. I thought, "Whoa, we've suddenly a lot of people in that street." Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. They said Mardi Gras, but yeah, I mean that's the thing about the music. The blues and family and that's the building bridges part. I mean, we're all over the world, and so are our VIPs. So is the tribe, just like anybody else in Open Sim. But we stay for the family and the friends and the music. So
Well, you also have a website for the grid, don't you?
we do. If it, you want to talk about the website?
Well, no, I'm just going to say, well, sort of, but what I'm going to say is if you tell me the website, I can actually load it into our middle screen as well. So we've got that
Ah,
to talk about.
I'll stick it in local.
But that won't, it might work. My Discords are different machines. So.
oh,
Hold on, I could stick it in Discord
That's
for you.
okay.
yeah,
That's
drop
okay.
it in.
Wildwoodbayou.com. That's easy enough. Wildwood Bayou.com. I should have loaded this before we started, but there's so much to do. There we are. Right, so I've got something else to refer to on the other screen there. Yes, I'll accept the cookies. How dare you ask me for cookies?
I want some too with that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. I've seen it. Okay, you can guide me around this as we go if I need to. So, yeah, that's the home page, so to speak. Bayou Bell, Lady Blue, Hot Daddies, Roleplay Gallery. Gallery is always a good place to start, but I'll keep with the pictures you give me for now. Right, so that's, I guess, all those costumes and things. That's all stuff we're going to be treated to on Wednesday, isn't it? All the Mardi Gras decorations.
I do believe so.
That you've kept up for us. Yes,
We are going to dress up for you for Mardi Gras.
I'm zooming in with my camera here, and of course my head in world is now looking up in the wrong direction. Never mind.
Right.
That serves me right for doing the naughty. Well, it's naughty for us, shall I say? Right. Okay. Let's click on another one. See what's coming up. Oh, dancer. That I imagine is Mardi Gras too, and just the colours behind her. And the costume.
Is that's another one of the costumes from Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Very, very nice. And I like the peacock feathers. Yeah. I always like peacock feathers. I got some peacocks down the road here, and it's always well, they're in a park in the summer mostly, but I always stand back when they spread their feathers. You know, they do that semicircular thing, and that's a remarkable display. Right, moving on.
It is indeed, but they're
Yeah.
pesky.
Yeah. Yes, and
They are pesky.
They are noisy.
Loud.
Whoa. When they want to be, when they decide to talk, they bellow.
Right.
Yeah, but wonderful, wonderful critters. Okay, we're back on Bourbon Street, or rather, we're on the signpost to Bourbon Street. This is a hotel, but that's very generic, isn't it? It's built the way we think of.
The Hotel Lafayette.
Yeah.
Very much in the style of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the balconies and yeah. Nice stuff. Right, moving on.
Yeah, we've got shredding. Come on for the party.
So this is, as opposed to a DJ, this is one of your live performers, I take it. either that or somebody posing, miming. I don't know which. You never can tell.
That's actually the DJ, me shredding during one of our sets. So you know, yeah, we have musical instruments, and everybody can come on up and play the piano. We got the best darn piano dancers in the entire metaverse. It's really all about having fun and coming in and enjoying oneself.
I used to have an avatar early on in Second Life. It looked like a sort of, not a superhero costume, like a just weird, loud costume. Not disco, anything, I don't know. But I had a guitar that went with it, and I think it might. I forget. It might have been Cayman. I forget who it was, but one of the musicians who did a lot of poetry and music together was there one day, and she picked me up, made me put the guitar on and pretend to be her and the guitarist because he hadn't shown up.
There you go. Well,
And I must admit, you got quite the vibe of it, you know.
well, I know
In a
that. I know you.
very, very strange way.
Well, I know you've got a guitar then if you ever show up. So
Yeah, no, well, that was Second Life actually. I mean, most of it, of course, is down to the animations we had, you know, because you could hold the guitar in this amazing costume and then really do I don't know what, but you know, sort of, hey, I'm Ziggy Stardust or something. I don't know, but yeah, it worked. Right, here we are, Rocking the Blues. Now this is a good. That's the stage inside, isn't it? I take it. Yeah, this is all audience.
yeah, that's the stage inside. And then we hold some what we call mini road trips, which are inside the grid, and then we hold road trips that are outside of the grid too. Rockin' the Blues does, and we've got Pontchartrain Beach where we have our summer sets sometimes with the bikinis and you know, drinks with umbrellas in them, and then we also go outside of the grid to other hypergrid destinations sometimes and have
Right.
sets there. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're kind of international hypergrid, if you will.
We did a set at OSCC this year, the last set of the music events there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I would have missed that. I mean, I'm there all the while because I do sessions there and things and film, but unfortunately, the entertainment is usually way past my bedtime. You know, I even missed the photo call at the end. You know, it's just just a bit too much. But no, that was good then. Yeah, so yeah. You could almost make the boat, you know, on the steamboat kind of venue into a build that like a compacted build that you can take to places to hold events. I always fancied the idea of you know, like the way, say, you're talking at the conference, you know, OSCC might, for example, make a booth for itself that it takes to other exhibitions or places as a standing booth to advertise themselves, you know, but the booth is transportable and can be raised on demand, you know. It'd be quite nice to do that with you know, a boat that you can just
Yeah.
dump
That'd
on the
be
water,
cool.
dump on the water anywhere you go, kind of thing.
There you go. Wouldn't need a plot for that. Just give me some open water.
Yeah, just one big mesh and a patch of open water.
That's right.
And
That's right.
no sim borders, please.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Get cut in half, you know. Right, moving on. We must be getting near the end of what we got on these ones at the moment. So yeah, more dances there. Oops, I keep clicking on the wrong bit. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Now there's a flashy guitar for you.
Right there.
Sort of, you do get real life guitarists who've had these strange things made. But there's obviously a lot more scope for unusual instruments in the virtual world. Ah, right, that's a suitable advertising picture, isn't it? These particle things are whirling all over the place, aren't
Oops.
they?
Sorry for that. Okay.
This is the sort of one you
This
really
is
wanted to get a few minutes, you know, a 30-second film of, so you get the feeling of not just the dancing, but the particles whirling around. Because I can tell they are, even though they're not moving, if you see what I mean. It's, well, yeah.
Do use a lot of particles
we do.
and a lot of neon.
And don't tell me, doesn't that create a bit of lag? Or
It
don't you?
doesn't actually.
Oh, okay.
You know, because
don't
it's
use
just
the-
particles, they're not really doing anything to create lag. Sometimes some people will get lag with their viewer for it, but
Yeah.
that would be the extent of it.
I think I remember in Second Life I used to get it a lot. But there again, some particles just fade out almost immediately, whereas other particles stay rezzed for ages, and you know they end up cluttering up the whole region before they start fading out. So I guess it's the way they're made. And,
Yeah. Our tech folks have done a lot of. We run the Nani code. We really like that, and we've done a lot of what would you say, work on the regions to really try to reduce lag and increase the participants' experience there. Our tech folks have really done that. We've just recently split up Wildwood Bayou into 4 different 4x4 grids to reduce, because we hold to regions, regions, to hold different venues on each of them, because we've got Voodoo Circle, we've got Pontchartrain Beach, we've got the Islands, and we've got the club, and so we're always looking for ways to increase the user's experience, because we want everybody to come and have fun. It's no fun to sit there if you're having lag of the yin yang.
Do you find you end up with many events where there's simultaneous events going on in different bits of the grid or the region? So, you know, something's happening at the rock venue, something else is happening at the blues venue simultaneously? Or are your events as a rule fixed to one location and then another one at another location, not overlapping, if you see what I mean?
Oh, within the grid?
Yeah, within within the grid.
No, we only have one event going on at a time. We only have
Yeah, so you don't get lamp for that reason.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got another dancer looking very cool there. What else? What's it?
Ooh. Piano dancer.
This is no line dance by the look of it, of some sort. Oh, and this is Janis Joplin.
On top of a piano,
yeah, that's inside the club.
I'm trying to identify that. Is that BB King, who I can hardly see?
There is a picture of BB on that wall,
I think that's BB. That's Janis Joplin, I know.
Yeah. And I can't remember who the bottom one is. Might be.
Is that Big Bill Burns?
Buddy.
That's Bill Burns, right? And is that Ella Fitzgerald? Or, no, maybe.
No, that's
more recent.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. You caught me.
Me too.
You should have given me a whole load of. You should have given me a whole load of pictures with wall shots. I could have spent the whole. I could have spent the whole show trying to guess who was who.
Guess who was who? Yeah. Now, Kira was the Detroit and Chicago blues style DJ, and I'm more for the more modern blues folks, but there's Macy plays a lot of older stuff, and so does Riker, and it's just a really good mix of what kind of blues is played on the grid.
It's very hard. I just love the blues as a type of music. I mean, one day I'll tell you I love the old acoustic sort of style, and next time I say, oh no, give me some Chicago blues any day and get my feet get me up and dancing, But I must say I love the I mentioned earlier, people like Tony Joe White and that like laid back boogie funk.
It's unfortunate we lost him last year.
Yeah, I know. No, I think yes. No. Is it only last year? So it's 2 years.
Was it? I could have been.
It's a shame. I've only got one video of him, which was a live performance of. What was the album with? Closer to the Truth. He performed that whole album live with only about 2 other band members, and it sounded, like the record with about 20. Yeah. But I loved his stuff. I really did. But that's diverging there. Right, maybe I should become an Inworld musician and mime to Tony Joe White.
There you go. So this is our roleplay hub. Feel free to talk about roleplay all you want.
I was going to say we talked about the music, so maybe we should. I don't know what the pictures are coming up, but maybe they'll switch to tell me a bit more about the roleplay.
We have just gotten to the roleplay pictures. So this is our roleplay hub. One of the things we wanted to do when we put the roleplay together in Wildwood was to encourage cross-grid roleplay. We do an event once a month that we call Market, and anyone from the hypergrid is welcome to show up and role play
Right.
as any character. It doesn't matter what genre they're in. You know, if you want to show up in a Star Trek uniform, fine. We are meta fantasy as role players typically, but we're also fairly broad-minded about everybody else. So we do that. It alternates. 1 month it's on Wednesday at 4 p.m. and the next month it's on Sunday at 11 a.m. So that the two time spreads give us the opportunity to
That's
be more open to Euro or Pacific time people.
yeah. So 4 p.m. Wednesday, that's Pacific, isn't it? That would be just like a couple of hours after Safari anyway, wouldn't it? So for hypergrid people. So
Yeah, that's true. If any of the Safari people would like to show up and roleplay, that could be fun.
Yeah, they can come to the Safari and hang around for the role play. I mean, so people on different hours. So I'm normally anxious to get out of there by about 10 at night for me. But for other people where it's daytime, I think people quite like hanging on. And there's something Thursday actually has mentioned. I think we were talking about the other day is that the whole idea of safari is you keep the landmarks and you can always come back later. Going on the safari is often only a glimpse of what's possible on a particular region or whatever, and so people can keep the landmarks and then come back at their leisure. Because you don't really get a whole thing into an hour's tour. It's like real life. You go to a castle, and by the time you got through the door and pay some appalling entry fee to English Heritage, you've got no time left to see the build. But yeah, that's quite good. I was, yeah, I remember in Second Life. Well, I used to love going on hunts with my partner, but not rather than sort of deep role play. But I remember there was things like builds of ancient Rome and things like that, where before you could go in, you had to put on your toga and your costume, and you had to choose what you'd be, whether you'd be one of the servant class or a senator, or. So it was actually meant to be an educational build, but it merged role play. In other words, everybody in there regularly had a role play as in role play, but it was all educational role play, so you could see how the servants were sort of shoveling gunk under the mosaic tiles, with the warm water heated floors and stuff. But there were slaves underneath thing or that, so you could see all the levels of the society at work, and there's quite a few interesting ones like that. But I got out of it in Second Life. I have a beautiful, very agile mesh pussycat avatar, and believe me, there is nowhere that critter can't go except possibly underwater. He goes into spacecraft. He goes into all sorts of eras of history. He goes into the far-flung future. Nobody can tell that pussycat what costume to put on. So
that's true. Once you have a cat, yes.
Yeah, once you have a cat, it changes everything.
I know, I'm very fond of him. It's not like possessing a cat. Well, it's being in the body of something that moves like that. It's just nice. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about me, are we? Let's move to the next picture. Right. Oh,
this was the grand opening of the Roleplay Hub. We had one of the road trips that Kith was talking about from the club, and we had a Renaissance fair set in the venue that we've built on the hub, and we had an anniversary one for our first anniversary. So we'll probably keep doing that every year, and we may add some other events if we can, find a spot to schedule them where they're not opposite a club event. But we'll also have a classroom. We're going to start doing some role play classes within the next month or two. It'll be announced on Inworld, but people who want to get started, we're going to talk about how to get started in role play.
All right. In general or specific to your particular role play? Although you say you're very wide with
Yeah, it'll be pretty general. I mean, the basic rules of role play are the same no matter what genre you choose to role play in. It'll probably lean toward meta fantasy because both Brigantia Isles and Ravenquest, the two groups that we have, are meta fantasy role players, although even between the two of us there are a lot of differences. So yeah, we'll try to keep it as general as possible. It's kind of hard not to fall back into your own genre sometimes. And I've been in meta fantasy for a really long time.
Yes. Yeah, you get your favourites, I guess, after a time. Yeah. That's the next one. All right. Oh, yes.
That
No,
is the market that we were talking about, and
now
there's
that's
some.
got, that almost feels old Englishy rather than, the like Tudor type building or something in the background. It doesn't feel American, but maybe that's just me.
That's pretty typical of meta fantasy architecture. We tend to go towards the Tudor style in that, so you will see a lot of Tudor buildings. And we have people here from both of the role play groups doing a market role play on one of the things. That gives you an idea of exactly how varied the role players can be, since we have a hobbit, a fae, a human, or no, I guess that's an elf, and a dragon in the same picture there.
Yeah. Yeah, the wings are rather pronounced on that lady. I thought, oh, Lord. Sorry,
Right.
I've just zoomed into myself on screen, so I don't know where I'm looking anymore. Right, okay. Happens. Right, there's the next one. Here we are. Oh, yes. Oh, well, it's not the maypole, but it could be. Is that
Yeah,
there?
this was an Imbolc ceremony over at Brigantia Isles earlier this spring, with a bunch of people dancing after the ceremony. We do celebrate some of the pagan ceremonies because that's, that fits our role play style.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I had never role played before, and once I got started with Raven Quest and then in Brigantia Isles, it's just a ton of fun. I mean, I was worried about all kinds of rules and having to do things wrong, and it's just fun. It's more like street theater, I think, than sort of scripted stuff.
That's when I mentioned earlier that thing, the example of some old Rome thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Pussycat was not going to wear a toga kind of thing, but it was although it was strict in the sense you adopt, but who wants to be the slave? Well, quite a few people actually, as it would turn out. But I think it's more, we call it role playing, but I think it's more like acting. You have a part to play that you volunteer to act that part, and I suppose it's improvised to a certain extent rather than learning lines, but the joy, comes from playing that part. Just like many actors will say, they always remember playing so and so on stage because it was a character that they just loved and got into.
We
It's similar
yeah,
thing here, really, isn't it?
we do tend to think of it as acting. Several people in my troupe at least have a theater background, and to
Yeah.
us this is more street theater and storytelling than
Yeah.
anything else, and it is largely improvised. We might have an outline, but that's about as far as we go. There are no
Yeah.
scripts.
Well, it's like, yeah, you build yourself into the character like an actor,
Hmm.
and sort of at the beginning, there may be only a vague sketch of what that character is like, but as you inhabit them, they become a much more rounded sort of fictional entity. Yeah, you have to improvise there, really. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's move on. That's the banqueting table, I take it.
That's inside the tavern in Brigantia Isles, and this shot is also from one of their role plays. Um, it's a magic ritual that they were doing.
I'm just going to say, we've got
Um,
the sort of standing stones, haven't we, behind?
yeah.
Uh,
In all of the roleplay regions, we have 9 total roleplay regions. 3 of them are oceans, but the others are built up in some varying styles and are, kind of scenic regions worth touring for their own existence rather than just for roleplay.
the one thing
Ganti
I
is
like,
really lovely.
the one thing I like in that picture is obviously if I was there, I could come in, but the engravings and stuff on those stones, they look really quite complex. I don't know where they're just textures that were done elsewhere and then mapped to the stones, but they so they got that. They give you that sort of very antiquated aura.
Yeah, they're really nice old Celtic carving images. Those stones look pretty awesome when you're actually there.
Yeah, that's just. Well, maybe we'll get there to that bit on Wednesday. Then I can stick my nose into the stones. The carvings just look very good, so they're convincing. Yeah, that's what I can see of them. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, that's the RavenQuest roleplay group. It's actually all of them in one place at one time,
Is it?
which you seldom get to see.
This is the end of game photo call, gonna say.
Yes. There's a magical gate here that we use in our role play, and I think we all just came back through it, so that's why we took that picture.
Right, and more carvings on that stone as well. But now we're inside the castle, the clubhouse, I guess.
Yes. Actually, this is a library, a magical library that's part of our role play, but yeah.
Harry Potter. Oh, it's funny how you can get mixed up, can't you? Look, I was watching. I can't remember. I think it was last night. I saw something for America on TV that had a big old old setting. And I thought, God, this is a historical thing, and it wasn't. It was the sort of thing they put to. It was a modern setting with just the decor was supposed to be old. I think I don't know. It's yeah. Oh yes. Oh, well, this should we should have had this as the first slide, shouldn't we?
You should talk about this, kid.
This is our motocross course on Wild Things. Yeah, Wild Things is our newest region that we created for our 1-year anniversary, and it's got skateboards, it's got motocross, boating, all sorts of stuff. A road tour, horseback riding. So that's kind of one of our destinations for the grid. And it's our newest one. We just go ahead.
Well, I just say that picture's a bit small there. Is that she sitting on a motorbike or something?
Yes, that's Kith on a motorbike.
I couldn't put it. Oh, hang on. Oh.
I think I did that by accident. My cursor was up in that general direction.
That's what happened, yeah. It's easy to go back. There's a guide thing at the side of the stage so you can go back and forth. Yeah. We'll move on anyway.
But yeah, so motocross, woohoo. It's fun. It's just a lot of fun.
Horse, is that a hay barn or horse
That
barn?
is a barn, and inside of it are motocross motorcycles, four-wheel drive vehicles, all kinds of motorized toys, skateboards, hoverboards that you can use on the region.
So definitely a bit more up to date than the horses.
There is a stable with horses as well, but that's kind of behind that picture.
Yeah, very good, and a good old ranch sort of there. Well, American homestead, really, isn't it? Oh no, darn it! I've just. Anybody looking at my head will see it twisting into all sorts of contortions because I keep kicking on the camera. My avatar head moves with the camera. Right, okay, let's go for the next one. Oh, but do you know, I don't think we've had any visible ocean in any of these pictures yet.
We do have quite a bit of ocean.
Yeah, this might be the first picture I've actually sort of seen in the context of a large body of water. This isn't the whole region, though, is it? This is just a bit of something we're looking at, I think, yeah?
This is part of the Rock and the Blues region, and there's sailable water all around the outside of all 4 of the 4x4s that make up Wildwood Bayou now. Right. We have sailable waters in our residential area, and we have sailable waters in the roleplay area. So we have a lot of open ocean, and we have boats that you can grab and sail around in.
I had a Metaworld grid, which is offline at the moment, but it's 5x5. But gradually I started filling it up with land. But I used to love going on the water with boats. So whenever I try driving a car in the virtual world, I crash. Same with airplanes. The only thing that I never really crashed was a boat. I don't know why. There's just something that I sometimes got caught on the edge of a sim and got stuck, but I'm reasonably successful with boats, but other forms of transport I'm not very good with. Even stairs are a problem in Second Life. I keep falling. Well, they're so far the designers. They got open sides, and I keep falling off. Sorry. Right. Oh, now this is nice and moody. Distant mountains, pine trees.
This is part of one of our residential areas. The last couple shots here are just different scenic residential areas.
Yeah. I must say, well, when I'm going to pop to Flickr or places like that and see pictures, and favourite them, these are what I favourite. I normally favourite shots that are just lovely virtual landscapes, and if there's a person in them, I don't favour them. I like it like it's a still camera shot, uncluttered by these pesky humans.
I have to say that as a photographer, I don't like people in my shots either.
Yeah, it's just something about it, isn't it? They contextualize it, whereas you want a clean vista,
Right. Well, we don't, like I said earlier, we're not a commercial grade as in terms that we rent regions to anybody. The only people that actually live here, because we've only got one 40-core server, right? So we have to keep things low so that things don't cause lag. But we do have some family and friends, hosts and DJs that actually live on the grid. And this is one of the areas where they actually live. But we've got some incredible builds from our residents. But yeah, those are open for exploration as well. This is Indigo House, where some of our DJs and hosts live.
That's the house. It's nice actually. They have houses like, is it Sweden or one of those countries where you get a lot of houses like that really tall bit?
It looks very Scandinavian.
Yeah, it's nice. I've just realised behind me, I haven't got eyes in the back of my head, but occasionally I just twirl around and look at the YouTube monitor. And there's this disappear from Inworld and reappeared on the channel. I don't know if these are friends of yours. I'll get them a shout out. There's Crazy Girl 1962 saying it's one of the best places in the metaverse to have tons of fun, period, and music always blows away. Somebody called Zaria Aubrey just says Halloween. More Zara Crazy Girls chatting a lot. Then Thursday. Whoops, watching. Okay, so we'll just say hello to Zaria and Crazy Girl. Obviously you're fans out there.
Well, yeah. Hello. We have the best tribe, the best VIPs. I mean, that come in to the clubs and they're respectful and pleasant. Yet you know what, tribe knows how to have fun. I mean, that's all there is to it. Because that's what it's really all about. It's a way to get away from the stuff that happens in that real life grid and just come and enjoy. So yay, the tribe is the best. We bring the music, but the tribe brings the fun, and that is incredibly true.
Yeah, I think so.
Really is.
As long as that real world grid doesn't break its servers or anything worse. Yeah, well, we go without our servers, is what I say.
Right. Well, we do have a backup grid on a smaller server that could run our venues if we needed to. So our tech guy, Durham and Misfit, they keep us up and running and keep us contingency plan after contingency plan just in case, right? So we're very fortunate. And it's all volunteer time, right? Nobody's paid. We do it for the love of it, and that blows me away that people are willing to put so much time and effort into a volunteer thing, and the grid wouldn't be there without the admin group and without the tribe. So and the DJs and hosts. So it's incredible.
Well, that's what tribe is all about, really, isn't it? Everybody's got they're invested in it. That's.
Indeed.
It's a family.
Their other life, so to speak. There's another beautiful picture, actually. Nice blue sky. We haven't seen much of that either. I really do like these vistas. You know, they're the sort of thing I can keep on screen and chat over all day. They're great backdrops actually for. You know, I could take a picture like this and just superimpose my avatar on it talking, and it may not be moving, but it's such a vast vista that you can sort of get away with it. You know. As a backdrop. I love this one. I love this one. Sure. I'll keep that picture around. Who knows what
Excellent.
devious use I will make of it. Somewhere.
That's another part of Indigo.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's very nice. Oh, and we're at the end.
Yes,
Oh.
that was the last one.
That was it. Right. Okay. Well, of course, I've still got. Is there any highlights you want to show me on the website here? I've loaded it. I think we're on. No, we're not on the home page. I moved. Hang on. I zoomed in. No.
You might want to click on the tab that says What's On. It will take you to our calendar that lists all the events.
I can't find. Where's the what's on in front of it? Why am I so zoomed in here?
Yeah, you look like you got into the gallery.
Yeah, and I think the gallery zoom. Hang on, I've got a widget here somewhere.
If you look along the top, you should see the different topic things. Are just in type.
Yeah, everything's just too. Oh no, explore most visited recent photos. Search log home. What goes?
Yeah, home should get you somewhere.
Home should take me to the full whack. I still think I'm zoomed in when I shouldn't be. I don't know. Is that what your homepage is meant to look like?
No, it still looks like the gallery.
Yeah, that is odd. Albums. I think for some reason this is somehow been set to zoom into. Oh, zoom.
Yeah, you are definitely in the gallery itself. I don't see a way out on your screen, at least.
Yeah, no, it's weird, isn't it? Reset.
Yeah, there is a way in the website to get out. You won't be stuck. No Hotel California.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay, well, let's take it. Yeah, exactly. I've got various galleries here one can look at. I know it's just.
I'm surprised that home didn't take you out of there, but.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do a naughty cheat thing. I'll get out of the gallery. There we are. That was the home. I don't know why. Yeah, somehow it just zoomed me right in, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's your homepage. What I presume is about the right size you meant to see it. So where would you suggest I click? Anything you want to?
Oh, that's still gallery.
Is it?
Yeah, that's definitely still gallery. Oh, why don't you try just re-entering the web address? And
I have done. This is wildwoodbyou.com.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
If you're not having fun,
that's what it should. There we go. That's it.
Oh, it's got changing pictures. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, that's the pictures behind the front screen are changing. Yeah.
So if you wanted to click on What's On up at the top there.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, this. I'll tell you one thing that's making a bit of a. There we are.
Oh, see along the top where it says What's On.
I'd forgotten that this when we're broadcasting, everything is in this special reading mode.
Ah, okay.
Like that, and it condenses all the stuff, so some things don't show up until I actually switch to the web page. So here we are. Right, there's your web page. Is this a Google Calendar?
It's a calendar. It's not Google, but it is linked into. There it is. Calendar. And that lists all the events for the month.
Now, I gotta say, what I tend to do is, when I come across calendars, I then add them to my Google Calendar, but it would need a Google button to do that with. So. But that's good. So you got a pretty full. This is Yeah, March. Right, this is this week. So every day but Thursday, you're pretty full up.
We are.
And
Yeah,
I'm just actually looking here. Have we got the safari in here? That'd be on Wednesday, wouldn't it? No, it's not the 2nd.
the
It's on the
9th.
9th. Yeah, I don't know if it
It's
is
the
on the
9th.
9th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not in here actually. Oh,
Well, gosh darn it. Yeah, we
well,
have
should add noon.
add that one in there.
I don't know. You probably know your residents and things better than I do. I know that sort of when I first took a place on OpenSim, it was Great Canadian Grid, the original one, and well, Roddy just gave it me basically, but it was. I remember the day the safari was coming. It was like a grid-wide event, Hey, the safari's coming to our grid. And that was to get everybody from all the assorted regions on the grid to come to where the safari was to sort of show off and stuff.
Mhm.
A great lag and crash the grid and everything else. But just wondering, if it's not on the calendar there, you better make sure that your regular residents, as it were, know.
Oh yeah. We Yeah, we have a very small residential population, and we're a pretty close group. Everybody that can be there will be there for safari, and then of course we also will post the notice out because I'm also going to be spinning music. So we'll post the notice out with the tribe and see if anybody shows up and wants to hang out with the safari folks. That'd be fun.
Right. Yeah. You plan to have any music as part of the safari? Like sometimes safari ends with a dance somewhere, or is most of the safari going to be
No,
playing around the region?
Yeah, we'll meet you over there at the Mardi Gras in the streets of New Orleans and spin a few Mardi Gras tunes, and then whenever you guys want to head over to the club, we'll just pop over to Rockin' the Blues and spin some blues for you. So you bet, because of course it's region wide. You'll hear the music wherever you're at. So if you want to explore or come to the club or whatever that looks like for you, we'll definitely be having music.
Yeah. Yes, that's the beauty of stream music, isn't it? You can literally put it on the whole region and let people wander around and get lost in the music. That is
Exactly.
Right. Okay, let me. So I guess we've probably covered a lot of things. Are there any other? Actually, while here we haven't heard. Sometimes James pops into the conversation. He's very busy on his cameras, so I should thank you for that, of course. But any questions, James, for these guys at all?
Well, I had just one comment, and that was to show some gratitude for the music events at OSCC from Wildwood people. That was a great party. Lots of people showed up. I really enjoyed that. And then I had a question about the role playing. And so when do you find that people become attached to the avatar shape and change clothing, or do you find that with role playing you'll change the whole avatar?
Oh, that really varies.
Okay.
For example, I role play as an elf, and I'm really attached to my elf avatar, so I'll tend to change clothing. But most of us also have alts. We play multiple characters, and frequently then you'll change the entire avatar. So
Okay. All right.
it just really depends on what you're doing and who you're playing at the moment.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm usually in this shell, so I'm not used to switching, but that sounds like fun.
It is fun. You should come join us sometime.
I really should. That'd be great.
I used to, back in Second Life days, in the old days, early days, I used to change avatars quite a lot, depending on what I was doing and where I was going. But it was just like, it's like real life. It's just a pain to get dressed up after time.
Yeah.
What clothes? But I'm just imagining a role-playing elf, Maybe you could be Spock in the Star Trek role-play, couldn't you? You got the ears for it.
Right.
I have actually done that. So
You have?
Well, I've played a Vulcan, not Spock, but yeah.
Yeah. It's the first thing that came to mind. I thought, elf, Vulcan, No such thing as unique.
I swear Roddenberry patterned the Vulcans after elves anyway,
Yeah.
or vice versa. No, Tolkien was.
Okay. So before we wrap up, which we're about to do, I guess, been a great talk actually. Anything else that, because I suppose I've been prompting things a bit, the pictures and everything else. Anything else that I've neglected that you might want to mention?
I can't really think. I just wanted to thank you for giving this opportunity to hang out with you today. It's been fun. I don't know that we're any different from any other club out there, with the exception of we're inclusive for all walks of life and all ideals. We'll just stay away from things that are disrespectful and not inclusive, and we just love to have fun. So we want to thanks for giving us the opportunity to just kind of highlight our little grid. And we've only been in existence for a little over a year, and it's been a phenomenal year. So I want to thank the tribe out there and thank everybody for making it what it is. And thank you, Mal and Alan, for
Thanks,
having
Mel.
us
This
on.
was fun.
Yeah.
I think it's very typical. That's respectful, and it's an atmosphere that pervades OpenSim and Hypergrid a lot more than some of the drama and stuff you get in places like Second Life. It's always separated the OpenSim environment from the jungle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I can remember, going to OpenSim versus, I'm not going to slam anybody, but this is very different community than, and it's just, you can come once or you can come be a regular, but you're always family. You're always part of the tribe. So it doesn't matter. Build those bridges with relationships and music. So that's cool.
Well, I for one love the blues. As I've said.
Excellent. Excellent.
You can play me some Tony Joe White on Wednesday.
I'll play you some Tony Joe White on Wednesday. You got it.
Yeah. So that'd be great. We will all come and crush the family on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. So, and I hopefully get a few people looking in at all this, so they get a little idea before they even get there, what's in store and stuff. So great. Well, you're grateful to be here. I'm grateful for you coming here. So I guess we'll sign off the Inworld review for this week. My thanks to, we'll do it the formal way now, to Kith Whitehawk and Fitteach Ian. Oh dear, I booked that one up, I bet. And of course, on cameras and everything, audio and everything else, James Atlloud. Plus Contessa's in the audience and Thursday lurking around somewhere. And on the web we got Crazy Girl of 1962. That's a nice name.
That is a good name.
Crazy Girl 1962. So we'll call it a wrap. As far as the show's concerned, you can find it anytime actually on my channel, Mal Burns at YouTube. And we're live at noon on Sundays, Pacific time, that is, if you want the actual live recording. And we will be back same time, same place next week. And of course, we will be lurking around on the very grid we've been talking about on Wednesday at noon Pacific with the Hypergrid Safari and our good friend Thursday Ember as well. So we will see you then. And once again, thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks much.